Hello, great people. How is everyone doing? I hope you're all doing great and fine and pushing and not giving up. I think yesterday I went back in time. I love to do this sometimes where I just sit and take a trip down memory lane and see how far I've come. And I thought about the whole preparation, learning medical German on my own and all that. And I felt, why not talk about that? Why not give some tips and tricks on how to learn medical German for medical practice in Germany? If you've watched my previous videos, you would know at this point that I learned medical German on my own and I also prepared for the medical language exam on my own without going to language school for this purpose. So I learned like the basic everyday German in a language school, and after that I started the process of learning medical German all on my own, and I'm so grateful and I'm glad it worked out well and I was able to pass my exam on the first attempt. So I'll give you some tips, some tricks on a few things that helped me back then, and I hope it does help you as well. I would say the first thing is learn basic German. Make sure you have the foundation of basic everyday day-to-day German, like the German you would speak when you travel or in a coffee shop or just with a random person at the train station. Make sure you know how to construct a full sentence. After that, then you can start building up on what's on the foundation you already have. 2, I would say read books. Read. I used a book called Deutsch for Ärztinnen und Ärzte. I'll link it up here or leave it in the description box. That book helped me a lot. Like, I read it every day, and also had like an audio form where if I didn't have the interest of reading on a particular day, I just listened to the audio. You had like practices where they had like interactions, a patient and a doctor, and then you had to listen and answer questions. So I found that book quite practical and it was good. So that helped me a lot. Apart from reading and listening, trying to listen, another thing is practice. So if you start learning like the medical German, once you start, make sure you practice daily. Consistency is key. Back then, as soon as I started learning like body parts, and I would wake up some mornings, I would stand in front of the mirror and I'm like, you know what, let's do this. So I would go from head to toe. I would say, oh, die Haare, der Kopf, die Augen, die Nase, der Mund, the Schulter. I was basically learning like a child. But you know what they say, you need to do what you got to do. So basically I did that a lot. I used to use myself as my practice. I'm like, okay, what's that? What's this? And if I didn't know it, I'll check and make sure if I asked myself tomorrow, I knew exactly what it was. So practice. There are different forms of practice. Aside practicing with yourself, there is also the form of practicing in a group. I had a study group that helped a great deal. Like having a study group, people you practice with, does help a great deal. So we did meet in the library. Sometimes one person had to talk about, let's say, hypertension. So let's say I have to talk about hypertension today. With the other groups, I made sure I practiced hypertension, the definition, the causes, the treatment, everything in German, So that really helped, like the vocabularies and just maintaining that sense of medicine in German. Another form of practice would be in a hospital setting. If you have the opportunity to do like unpaid internships, they are called Hospitation. If you have that opportunity, go for it, do it, even if you're not getting paid at the time, since you don't have a medical license or anything. but do it. It does help a great deal. Do it. Go and talk with patients, do the anamnesis, and just listen. Even if you don't fully understand what they are saying, you catch like the accents, you catch like the dative, accusative, there, the, das for words, so that really helps a lot. Another option is going to old people's homes as well. Some of these people, they have time to spend, to talk, but unfortunately, they don't have people to speak with for so long. So if you have the opportunity of going to an old people's home and just letting them know you would love to practice and all that, and speaking to people, that would really, really help. You'll be surprised at how fast you just learn and improve your listening as well. I knew someone who who used to go to the train station and just speak to the homeless people there. It sounded crazy, but that really, really helped at that time. That helped that person at that time. So people have all sorts of different modes and ways to interact. So choose what's best for you, but make sure in whatever way, make sure you interact non-stop, consistently, daily. Every opportunity you get to speak German, grab it. Even if you sound foolish, use it and be open to correction. Some people will correct you with love, and some people will correct you with some kind of disgust in their tone. Whichever way, it's for your own good. You know what you need, you have a focus, so you take the correction and you keep moving. So aside these ways of practice, I would say also what helped was watching movies like medical series. Then I would go on Netflix and watch like Night Shift. There are many series on medicine and just the hospital settings on Netflix. So rather than watch like action movies, or I spent most of my time watching medical movies and series with subtitles. I listened to them in German and watched the English subtitles sometimes, or the other way around. But either way, I made sure there was some kind of German in there. So that helps a lot. Watch movies. Any opportunity you get to train your ears, to watch, to listen, just make sure consistency, make sure you're doing everything consistently. Another thing I would say is if you have the opportunity to go to a language school, where someone teaches you daily, then do that as well. Like the medical language classes and all that. If you have that opportunity, grab it, take it, and use all of it. These are some of the things that helped me while I was learning like the medical German for medical practice and for preparing for the medical language exam. These things, I took them seriously. I made sure I read a lot. I made sure I listened to audio books. I made sure I interacted with people. I made sure I practiced on my own and practiced with people when I got the chance. I made sure I used every opportunity I had to speak German, and I was also very open to corrections. I even tell people, please correct me when I speak. So I hope you utilize these tricks, and I hope they help you bring out the best in your German and passing your exams when the time comes. I'll see you next time as always. Until then, take care of yourself, keep your light shining, and bye.